Hello and welcome to Cityworks Innovate Conference, coming to you live from Salt Lake City, Utah. We look forward to spending some time with you over the next 2 days. A couple of details as we launch into our event today. We'll be broadcasting live today and tomorrow, and for the very best user experience, we recommend keeping the conference event platform open in its own tab or window. If you need to leave the live broadcast or live breakout session at any time, don't close the browser. Click the Leave Meeting button in the top right corner. This will allow you to stay in the conference environment without having to reset technical settings. Our live breakout sessions with Cityworks experts and partners will be available from 9:40 a.m. to approximately 12:30 p.m. U.S. Mountain Time. If you miss a session, don't worry. They will be recorded and made available in the on-demand library after the conference. At 1 p.m. U.S. Mountain Time, be sure to join one of the live attendee meetups. Pick a topic and hop into one of our Zoom rooms to meet new friends and talk shop. We have made a quick video to introduce you to the event platform and a few key icons to the left that will be most helpful to you during Innovate. Let's walk through some of the functions with our Innovate conference expert, Paige Burnhope.
Thank you, Cindy. Let's get started. When you first log in, please click Check Your System to set up your audio and video camera and to familiarize yourself within the platform we will be using. You will see the full agenda for today and tomorrow on the dates above. To the right, you will see a Join Now button where you can join any session. To the left, you will see the navigation bar. Please note and refer to the icon at the very top above Inbox. This is where you can log out of your Adventure account and where you can change your language, metric, and discoverability within the platform. The Inbox is where all of your messages from the event will show up from all attendees. The Sponsor and Exhibitor module is where you can connect with our partners live and engage one-on-one. They will also have on-demand videos, downloadable content, or just stop by to say hi. Explore our Expo Hall to see all of our sponsors and exhibitors in one place. Check out our on-demand sessions to listen to client and partner-led demos and the innovative ways they are using Cityworks in the field. We have added a new attendee meetup session. These are small group discussions that run today and tomorrow from 1 to 2 p.m. Mountain Time. These are live meetups where you can mingle with other attendees, meet new friends, and talk shop on topics of interest by hopping into one of our Zoom rooms. We encourage you to use our rate and review, which helps us improve for our next conference. We look forward to your feedback. Questions can be asked within breakout sessions by using the question module for any session you attend. If your question is not answered during the session, please watch for a follow-up email from our experts. The attendee module is a place where you can connect with all of our attendees, speakers, and exhibitors. Go here to ask specific questions to a speaker or to start a chat with a friend. The activity feed is a great place to view your live tweets, comments, and responses during the event. Make sure to check out the job board while you are here to see job opportunities and job postings. The chat module is the last module you'll need to know about for the Cityworks Innovate Conference. Come here to start a group chat discussion or join other groups.
Thanks, Paige, for that walkthrough. Over the past year, I have had the pleasure to work closely with many of our users for the Cityworks Converge User Summits. As we navigated a very unexpected 2020, we came together as a Cityworks community to share and learn from each other. Each of you has a story to tell of the challenges you faced, But those challenges helped us improve and innovate in unexpected ways to better serve our communities. The user summits led us to create this capstone conference focused on the innovative solutions that support you in helping our communities thrive. Renowned Harvard business professor and economist Clayton Christensen said, "Motivation is the catalyzing ingredient for every successful innovation." While we wish we could walk 2020 backwards, it became the motivation we needed to catalyze innovation in our organizations. Members, as they highlight the latest product innovations and collaborations to support you in your objectives. Over the next 2 days, there will be more than 30 live breakout sessions and interactive groups, and featuring more than 40 on-demand presentations from both Innovate submissions and our Converge user summits. We want to thank our partners who have helped to make Innovate possible by sponsoring and exhibiting. So please engage with them and learn how they can help you extend the capabilities of Cityworks and ArcGIS. Thank you again for all of the work that you do to serve your communities. And we look forward to visiting with you over the next couple of days. I would like to now introduce Brian Haslam, President and CEO of Cityworks.
Thank you, Cindy. It's been incredible to see the results of Cindy's passion and our marketing team for continuing to connect the Cityworks users this year. The stories that have come from the Cityworks community are really inspiring to me. The virtual platform has allowed many more people to attend the Converge summits and also the Innovate conference. More than 2,800 people have registered for the conference, representing 950 organizations and 28 countries from around the world. I'd like to take a few minutes to recognize the partners who generously sponsor this conference. Innovate could not happen without our sponsors or exhibitors. Cityworks partners are critical to the success of our customers. I'd especially like to thank our general session sponsors, Power Engineers, and Nearmap. They are active supporters of the Cityworks user community. And thank you to all of our sponsors and exhibitors who helped make this conference a success. Please visit them in the expo hall and also in each of their own booths to discover the innovations that they offer. 25 years ago, the idea of GIS-centric asset management was born. Cityworks wouldn't be possible without our deep partnership with Esri. As an ArcGIS pure play, we are committed to the importance and value that GIS plays as part of the system of record. Jack Dangerman, founder of Esri, is a good friend of mine and has been a mentor. For several years, he has been gracious enough to provide us insights at our in-person conference. This year, Jack and I sat down to discuss how Cityworks and Esri are helping communities thrive in a dynamic world. I want to share a couple of highlights from that conversation with you today. Jack, thank you so much for taking time to share your insights with the Cityworks community.
It's my great pleasure, Brian. Thank you.
I've always admired that Esri has had a long-standing tradition of being open and available for third-party developers to build applications. Can you tell us more about ArcGIS platform?
We decided to literally open up the hood to a layer of our technology, which means that very easily people can drag and drop not only maps into their apps, they can actually use our base maps and also the analytics inside of ArcGIS. So our vision is that it will, just like you pioneered, it will empower so many additional apps that can be built. Apps about everything. Your whole integration of Cityworks with Trimble, it excites me, really excites me, because it really means that we can continue to expand other sorts of workflows and other kinds of technologies around this idea of a digital twin, a digital model for my customers.
And it's so much more than a static model. The GIS-centric data model can be constantly updated from the human work activities and the data coming in from IoT devices. This creates a living, breathing, evolving system of work that empowers our joint customers to take a holistic view of their organization and their infrastructure. It becomes a system of action.
Yeah, it is a system of action and a system of work. But the fact that you built that system on top of a GIS means that you can take advantage for your customers of the analytics power, which I've seen some of the work that you've done with insights and other tools. Boy, you know, all of a sudden, this whole treasure of other applications can be leveraged off of the main core transaction work of managing work and managing action.
It is exciting. So how do you see digital twins being adopted among municipalities and utilities now and in the future?
I mean, the next few years, and the next decades, and the next 50 years, there's going to be a lot of change. I mean, a lot of change. And it's going to be driven in part by technology and digital technology. Digital is the technology and communication. And we're going to see lots and lots of shifts in the way people think about cities and the way they manage their assets. The bottom line here is there's a new kind of infrastructure emerging. And it's not the water infrastructure of cities or the transportation infrastructure of cities. It's the digital infrastructure. And so I'm focused on geospatial infrastructure as a foundation for cities. And it's going to change the way cities operate. You and I can do that. We can help people do their work better and see this big goal.
Exactly. One of the things you often speak about, which I've written about, is the amazing capacity within our professional community to enact positive change. GIS intelligence empowers Cityworks and Esri users to do good locally and also to overcome serious problems.
That we are overshooting our capacity, that we are in crisis, not just with things like COVID, but also with climate change and with loss of biodiversity. I mean, so we have some serious problems to be able to correct. And what I see about GIS is that it allows us to bring the information together. It allows us to analyze it, and it allows us to participate and use that information to be able to make a more sustainable infrastructure, more sustainable organizations. You know, it'll allow us to look at solving problems like decarbonizing our whole society. It's a geographic thing.
It is a geographic thing. Cityworks and ArcGIS users, our common clients, are solving problems and overcoming challenges every day, whether it's repairing infrastructure or something that became really important during the pandemic, investing in our parks and open spaces, and other small changes to improve the quality of life for residents, making our communities more resilient and sustainable. This is critical work that impacts all of us. We'll see examples of this from presenters throughout the conference. Thank you, Jack, for your time and being a part of the Cityworks Innovate conference.
So, Brian, thank you. I really appreciate this conversation.
As always, talking with Jack about the ArcGIS platform and Cityworks made me think more deeply, thinking about the importance of having a platform business model, or we can say a platform mindset that fully complements platform technology. Now, there are linear business models and there are platform business models. Every organization has some linear thinking in it, but certainly Esri and Jack is a good example of a software business that has always had a strong platform mindset. The ArcGIS platform is extensible to support data consumption and expanded functionality for other users. We could say the same about Microsoft, Google, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, and other tech leaders who dominate the market today. An article from Applico does a good job of explaining the difference between the two approaches. A platform business model creates value by facilitating exchanges. It creates communities that allow users to interact and transact. And importantly, it doesn't limit or fully control. Rather, it facilitates the interactions. It facilitates collaboration. This approach to business and software development lies at the heart of our GIS-centric philosophy. As mentioned, Cityworks pioneered and defined the GIS-centric approach of using ArcGIS as the asset inventory for local government and utilities without syncing or duplicating to other asset data tables. Why did we do this? Because Esri had become the de facto asset repository for local government and utilities. Why not just use it? That's platform mindset. Instead of creating our own asset repository, Cityworks created an environment where users can interact and make transactions against their assets in the GIS. Users can exchange data from many different solutions within a single GIS-centric environment. Our vision was to create a GIS-centric asset management and permitting system that maximizes ArcGIS location intelligence for performing and planning work. Over time, the platform approach evolved to include three key GIS-centric systems: the system of engagement, the system of record, and the system of insight. For Cityworks, these are not silos loosely connected, but rather a network of foundational elements that together form a GIS-centric system of action. The system of record is the extensible platform for data exchange and transactions. The system of engagement connects users to valuable, accurate data housed within the system of record. Whether you're recording work activity on a mobile device, assigning work from the office, logging a service request, submitting a permit application, or reviewing a project dashboard, the system of engagement provides the necessary entry point to interact with the system of record. As a system of insight, Cityworks and ArcGIS can help you identify and prioritize risk, enhance operational efficiency, prepare for emergency events, identify community development opportunities, and build a business case for necessary personnel and resources. You can leverage analytics tools available within Cityworks and also external tools such as ArcGIS Insights, Microsoft Power BI, SQL Server reports, Crystal reports, customized dashboards, and many more. The system of insight can be used in real time as well as near time or long-term planning to achieve improved work management, operational efficiency, master plans, and asset investment planning strategies. These systems, taken either as a whole or as any one of the scalable parts, together create a system of action. Because we embrace a platform mindset, we remained open to the integration of other tools. Tools from Esri, tools offered by our business partners, or tools built in-house by you, the customer. Many apps and solutions can make important contributions at any level. For example, the numerous entry points into the system of engagement can include constituent engagement apps, mobile inspection, IoT, Internet of Things, data file uploads, and many more. Location intelligence can enhance the quality of the data coming from any one of these entry points and their contribution to the system of record can further inform the actions you take within your organization. Take, for example, workflows that combine Cityworks and ArcGIS apps. With single sign-on and web maps, users can seamlessly move between Cityworks and ArcGIS field apps to easily incorporate work activity that these applications support as part of the broader GIS-centric system of record. This ensures that all your work is cataloged and tracked to assets in the GIS and is available to support your organization's broader asset management goals. Another example is expanding into real-time data collection capabilities. A really good example of this is what we have done with Trimble Telog IoT instrumentation. This integrated solution, Cityworks IoT, we call it, can be configured to automatically trigger work activities to support real-time monitoring and response. To put it plainly, in a system of action, actions update the system of record. End users can streamline their actions using the system of engagement, and the system of insight can inform your actions in real time or near time, or as part of a strategic planning process. Perhaps most importantly, GIS-centric systems of actions are scalable, able to span the entire continuum or operate within a single system. They can be deployed in one department or across the entire enterprise. Regardless of where your organization is in its digital transformation, we have scalable systems of action to meet your needs. Our vision is to provide a GIS-centric platform for asset management and community development that helps you create communities that are more resilient, sustainable, and safe. And as we like to say, Cityworks is your partner in doing good locally. Next, Becky Tamaszewski will share how putting people first can help you set the stage for an intelligent urban ecosystem built on a culture of change.
Thank you, Brian. It's no secret that this past year has brought rapid growth and innovation in local government and utilities. For years, organizations faced steep barriers to the adoption of new technologies. Now, many of these same technologies are implemented and accessible to your employees and to your customers. You've been driven to remove barriers, adopt new technologies, and incorporate improved processes in order to stay operational and functional during the pandemic. You've been forced to get creative, doing more with less in an unfamiliar environment. So for example, Suffolk, Virginia has been using Cityworks for a few years, and they already had an ongoing implementation in place. When COVID, quarantine, and work from home hit, this immediately impacted their business operations and permitting revenue. But this didn't stop them from taking care of their community. They applied for and received funding from the US CARES Act, and they capitalized on it. They took a bold action and moved from an on-premises deployment to a cloud-hosted environment with Cityworks Online. Subsequently, they purchased mobile devices for their crews, funded broadband access for the field, and I've heard from many customers who expanded usage of the Cityworks mobile apps and Respond for field crews during this time. These tools enabled organizations to minimize the disruption to their crews, in addition to minimizing physical contact for those staff and providing a level of safety. They've also focused on their permitting implementation and the deployment of Cityworks Public Access. Suffolk adapted to a changing environment to support and improve their community. Public Access, the public portal for Cityworks PLL, helped many communities provide contactless solutions to ensure business operations remained active for residents and businesses. And even before the pandemic, many communities had set their sights on improving customer experience and resiliency at every level of their organizations in order to facilitate economic growth. Building and development activity is incredibly strong right now, and the construction market is only increasing in activity. This brings a large volume of activity in permitting, community development, and inspections, and you're continuing to provide these services. But there's been recognition that the current methods won't meet the demand, and with that, you've adapted. We saw that across multiple user organizations: Grand Rapids, Minnesota, Topeka, Kansas, Vista, California, Morro Bay, California, and many more. Much of this was funded through the U.S. CARES Act, and while that has passed, more federal funding opportunities are coming down the pipeline in the United States to support infrastructure revitalization at the same time that regulatory rules are being revised. We're putting together solutions to help you implement strategies that fit the requirements of infrastructure funding. Solutions from Cityworks and Trimble that will help you extend the performance of your infrastructure. But what is that driver for successful innovation? Is it funding, regulatory requirements? And it has to be more than that. You just have to do it. Having to do something isn't what determines success in the long term. So when I asked one Cityworks site how they were able to accomplish rapid technology adoption and process change, they answered that it was simple. They created a culture of change in their organization. And so I'd actually like to share that with you in their own words.
So when we're talking about people, we're talking about culture. So here at the City of Escondido, we took a step back and we said, we need to build a culture of change. We need to involve more people. So as we broke down the silos within our departments and we bring everybody together when we have an initiative or we have a goal to achieve or we have a challenge to overcome, we want to bring in all the skill sets from all the different departments to really come together and look to see where we're going to go next. What is that next change that's going to bring us that ability to provide those services better, faster, just whatever we need to do at that time.
And so that was Rob Van de Heij from Escondido. And what he had to say really resonated with me. And I walked away thinking about it for days. In today's world, employing a culture of change across your teams is such a critical attribute in terms of the way an organization adapts to an internal change, emergency, or rapid community growth. And change can seem dramatic and abrupt. It impacts processes which impact people, customers, and business. Change can be viewed as a barrier or it can be embraced. So there are three key elements to successful change: people, technology, and business process. Brian spoke just now about the value of incorporating a platform mindset into your business process to help you create valuable networks for data exchange. That's why we architected Cityworks as a platform. We recognize that you need to capitalize on data transparency and exchange across your entire organization to be effective in your operations. And while technology is a component of effective change, it can't stand alone. You can't just say, if we deploy this technology, then it's going to solve the problem. Because here's the thing, technology doesn't solve problems. People do. People are the critical element to achieve success, and that means organizational culture change from top to bottom. If we don't engage our people and make sure that together we understand what the drivers are for a process and how to improve that process, then deploying more technology on top of that will fail. So innovation starts with your teams and creates a culture of change that seeks meaningful and ongoing improvement. At our last user conference, I spoke about creating an intelligent urban ecosystem. I want to expand further on that concept in the context of organizational cultures of change. So looking back at that point in December of 2019, Cityworks was in the first phase of a massive change. We'd just recently been acquired by Trimble, and we were still learning what opportunities that would bring. We were learning what processes and solutions could support our customers. Where did their broader technology and solutions fit with ours? And then, at the start of 2020, all of our day-to-day operations to support customers changed. We grappled with many of the same technical constraints that your organizations faced. We went from being primarily an on-premises, office-based work environment to suddenly having to work from home. And just like you, we had to connect our employees to stable internet connections, configure VPN networks, and distribute hardware that supported remote work. As Cityworks joined Trimble, we also joined a new business culture. We shifted from being a small company to a global company with thousands of employees. And many of us are now interacting with colleagues in time zones from around the world, while being exposed at the same time to new technologies and new business processes. And we embraced it as an opportunity to interact with some really smart people, and you'll be introduced to a few of them speaking during this conference. We also looked for opportunities to expand what we could offer our customers and introduce options with new software and hardware. But what has allowed us to be successful is putting people first. We focused internally on giving employees the support systems that they needed to navigate the pandemic and the business transition. And we prioritized the people we serve each and every day, you, the Cityworks community. The outcome was integrating existing technologies to create scalable end-to-end solutions that support you in every step of your workflow as you tackle real-world problems. So for example, over the last year, we've announced new IoT and remote monitoring solutions that inform your asset management strategies. We also released new mobility solutions that support specialized workflows for water utilities, as well as electric utility vegetation management. And tomorrow, you'll see those in action. Your ideas, questions, feedback, and challenges drive our pursuit of innovation. We embrace change to better enable you to meet the needs of your communities. So if you're watching this talk, you already have a desire to learn, grow, and spark change within your organization. And sometimes it can feel like an uphill battle to inspire others to join you. So how can you contribute to a culture of change to help your team find success? Well, people have been writing and researching this for decades. And the findings boil down to 4 key components that we try to weave into what we do at Cityworks. So first, prioritize people. When you recognize that people are the key to solving problems, the next logical step is to prioritize those people by seeking meaningful feedback and engagement before, during, and after the change. So Rocky Reeser from Wright House Utility District shared how this motivates him in his daily work, and I'd like for you to hear it in his own words.
Hello, my name is Rocky Reeser, and I'm the Operations Manager at White House Utility District, located here in White House, Tennessee. My greatest sources of motivation are customers and coworkers. Working in the water and wastewater industry, we have a responsibility to provide safe, clean drinking water to all of our customers. We take a lot of pride in doing this. But serving our customers really starts with serving our coworkers, providing guidance and direction, and pitching in whenever and wherever needed. Regardless of your role or your title, we all have a part in making the day-to-day operations work and making sure we're providing excellent service every day to everyone. At White House Utility District, one of the ways we've been able to do this is by constantly exploring new tools and new technologies, and then looking for new ways to use the ones that we currently have. When we can streamline processes and workflows and give our employees access to the information they need, right when and where they need it, we are making their jobs faster, easier, and way more efficient. When it comes to providing a life-sustaining service, such as water, speed and efficiency make all the difference.
So I love what Rocky shared. He's motivated by 2 things: serving the constituents of the district and also supporting coworkers who are working toward their organizational objectives, improving workflows and technology processes. Rocky clearly speaks to the importance of people as the critical link in innovation. By building personal relationships and opening channels for honest conversations and user feedback, you can create a space where people feel comfortable talking about their challenges, sharing their ideas, and working collaboratively to improve existing processes. So the second element is to communicate why. A critical component to any change is transparency and sharing the why, and then providing visual metrics like dashboards with insights and analytics to show the value of what's being captured. Engaging staff from the office to the field in the process and demonstrating how the data they're collecting is being used to justify projects, staffing, and funding requests is key. So a dashboard like this one for valve management develops a foundational understanding and communicates the value of why we are trying to make these changes in the organization and what the reason is for the innovation. Change, purely for the sake of change, also doesn't empower successful innovation. It's important to ask and define what you are hoping to accomplish as your outcome. That doesn't mean implementing new point solutions, but rather looking down the pathway to drive an improved future outcome and identifying the technology and people that will take us there. So third, empower teams. When users understand the why and can see the data, they're also empowered to make decisions and act in their areas of responsibility. So Jacob Pitch, with the City of Racine, Wisconsin, shared his insight with me a few weeks ago, and now I'd like to share that with you.
Hello, Jacob Pitch. I'm a programmer for the City of Racine, Wisconsin. I'd say our main motivation as an IT department is to be supporting cast behind the folks really doing the work in the city. And using tools like Cityworks, we can centralize, digitize, and automate processes while eliminating lots of manual work for these people. By creating a platform for reporting, data analysis, and collaboration, We enable our team to focus more on the things that they're professionals at and consequently help them achieve their goals. As a result, we're able to make smart, data-driven decisions that serve and benefit our beautiful community down here by the lake.
So what Jacob shared shows that when you prioritize the people and the role that they play in organizational effectiveness, you can implement solutions that make their jobs easier and allow them to focus on the work that they do best. And so fourth, create a community. A culture of change cannot exist without a sense of community. Community is based on trust, shared goals and interest, and a sense of identity and belonging. And an example of that is what Don Crowley with the City of Alpharetta shared with me. And now I'd like to play that video for you.
Hi, my name is Dawn Crowley. I am the project administrator for the City of Alpharetta's Community Development Department. What motivates us most for technology is we are actually coined the Technology City of the South. So if that's not motivation enough, I don't know what is.
And you can see here, Alpharetta's shared identity as the Technology City of the South lies at the very foundation of their culture of change and is the reason behind implementing new technology. But what if your organization isn't quite there yet? Positive community is often the most difficult thing to achieve in an organization. And even when it is there, change inevitably shakes things up and leads people to worry about where they fit. So one way to overcome this is to reward staff for trying new things, even if they fail. Resistance to change often comes from a fear of failure. Mistakes, and yes, even failure, are inevitable byproducts of innovation. By embracing mistakes in yourself and in your colleagues and in other departments, you can help staff feel safe to try new things. Becoming a digital organization that embraces change is a continuous journey. For over a decade, we've been developing Cityworks to become a scalable platform to serve the personal and organizational needs of your teams and your customers at scale. As governments and utilities re-architect their systems to support their residents and businesses, it requires a new kind of relationship between field crews and stakeholders, between the CIO and the Public Works Director, and between the Chief Engineer and the GIS Manager. It requires a more personalized, GIS-centric experience to expand the digital transformation required to meet the needs of customers while still operating efficiently. More than ever, an intelligent urban ecosystem runs on customer connections and personal experiences. It requires us to prioritize people. Cityworks is built around personalized or people-first work experiences to support every level of an organization's asset management strategy. From public solutions to track the submittal of new infrastructure, to mobile solutions in the field to capture operational data, to back office solutions, consuming the field data to develop asset strategies. Cityworks, combined with Esri's ArcGIS, is built to help communities adapt to the impacts of creating a culture of change and personalization. And so we've talked about business processes, and we've talked about prioritizing people. And now I'd like to have George Mustakis share how Cityworks, ArcGIS, and partner solutions can help you unlock a new world of asset data for public organizations.
Thanks, Becky. It's true that in the past year, we have seen more innovation occur around Cityworks than we have at any other time in our 25 years offering it. And what's special about what we're experiencing is the proliferation of more sophisticated technologies like AI and machine learning. While we've always known this was an eventuality, over the past year, this route has become one of the first places you turn to resolve your challenges. And you're moving in this direction with the expectation of doing it all on cloud platforms because you need expanded access, greater efficiency, and increased security. Your goals still include the same foundational tenets: data accuracy, faster actions through easy-to-use tools, and more meaningful insights that you can learn from. But how you achieve this today may not look anything like it did 2 years ago or even 1 year ago. This morning, we're going to look at 2 innovative solutions that grow your capabilities in this direction. The first solution comes from Shannon Martell at Charlotte Water. She and her team combine technologies provided by Esri and Trimble to create a solution that would lower their annual spend while giving them faster results and greater accuracy. Hey, Shannon, how are you?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. Hey, thank you so much for joining us today to talk about this very interesting and very neat solution that you've created. And so I just wondered if we could just jump in and you can tell us what was the problem you needed to solve and why.
Sure. The problem that we had is we have almost 300,000 water meters in our system, but only about 70% have been field verified. We currently spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a year on survey contracts to locate these meters. So we were looking at a better, more cost-effective way of doing this. So we started with a forward-facing camera. We put it in our truck and we drove around and collected images. And then we handed these images off to Esri to see if they were able to detect these meters in the images. And they were, which was very exciting for us. So the proof of concept was positive.
Oh, that's great. And so ultimately then what technology did you deploy to make this all possible?
Sure. We found some deficiencies in the forward-facing camera, the accuracy, and that it just faced forward. So we ended up going with the Trimble MX7 camera. We like this camera because of the 360-degree image collection and the high precision of the output.
Okay, so what was the second part of the solution that you deployed? You mentioned Esri.
Yes, so we worked with Esri to create a machine learning model that could do object detection for these meters in the imagery. So we uploaded the images to Esri. Esri created the machine learning model to detect the meters out of the images. So kind of how the process works is you take the image, you have a person go in and draw what we call a label, but basically it's a box around the meter. These labels are then loaded into the model, and that is how the machine learns to find the meters in the images. So we ended up with a mean intersection over union of 0.9, which is almost 100%. So we were really excited. The machine learning model image you can see here is the purple shaded. The yellow area is actually where the computer found the meter. So we were really excited to see these results.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, it is very exciting. I feel with what we've talked about today, it wasn't very hard for you to deploy. What can you describe or what can you say about that?
Sure. The MX7 camera came in several boxes at the office. We had about a week-long session with a representative from Trimble. He went through how to install the camera on the vehicle, how to calibrate the equipment, how to use the image collection software. So within about a week, we were up and running.
Okay, fantastic. So you have all these great images that have come in with a lot of smarts behind them, right? How else do you envision using them for your asset management needs?
Another project that we have is Department of Transportation is interested in using the same technology to detect parking signs. They don't have a good inventory of their signage. Additionally, another utility manager at Charlotte Water is interested in taking this camera to do before and after images of paving projects to make sure that none of our assets have been paved over.
Oh, that's fantastic. And so all that information then you can provide into Cityworks almost seamlessly and then enable the crews to go and look at those inspections from their office even.
Correct. Yes, and we'll be between the Cityworks and having the imagery, they can be completely in the office and not have to go out to the field to see what the situation is.
That would save an enormous amount of time, expense, and whatnot. Well, Shannon, I just want to thank you for joining us again here. Really appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing your outcomes.
Thank you very much.
Mobile devices have all but erased any communication and awareness gaps between the field and back office. Today, your field staff make up the majority of your users, and as you look to extend into the field even more, it's important to give these users a solution that's easier as well. And so, for example, what if instead of tapping on a screen, a field worker could complete their jobs by speaking? What if they could free their hands to handle equipment or take pictures as they update their inspections by simply using their voice? The next solution comes from our partners at Gannett Fleming and GeoDecisions. Recently, I spoke with Carmen Figueroa about their new virtual assistant named Siva that makes it possible to use Cityworks hands-free.
Hey, Carmen, how are you doing?
George, I'm good. How are you?
Awesome. Glad to hear that. Hey, really excited that you could be part of our conference this year. This technology that you've created is very special, and we're so excited when you first brought it to us with a desire to want to tie it into Cityworks. We just thought it'd be a perfect opportunity to share it with everybody, during the session here. So can we just jump in and can you tell us a little bit about Civa?
Sure. Yes. So Civa is a voice-enabled on-site data collection tool, and it's a collaborative information virtual assistant, or Civa. And it uses voice and geospatial technology to, streamline workflows in the field. And Civa was built specifically for the field user. So really, it's a voice-driven capture tool, and it gathers data as well as retrieves data as it relates to the project.
Can you tell us what the impetus was for creating Civa?
So the question that we asked ourselves, how do we as professionals start to incorporate new technology and software that enhances the collection experience? Because ultimately, somebody has to be on site or in the field actively collecting information. So Civa was really created to assist those individuals who are really responsible for capturing all of the project data that we use and turn into our best practices. So,
yeah, definitely. I mean, any way that we can work hard to improve that is tremendous. And so with that, Carmen, can you show us Civa? Can you show us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, I thought you'd never ask.
Capturing day-to-day project information with Civa is going to make on-site activities safer. Using a voice-compatible virtual assistant to record work reports and project issues in real time keeps everyone in the project up to date and progress moving forward. This is a daily work report created with an online fillable form well after the activities took place on site. This is how we used to capture project information. Now, inspectors can keep their pens, pads, and mobile devices out of sight while they log real-time data. This is your project's dashboard, where all of your captured information is stored. This dashboard represents a live view of your project site while automatically uploading activities as they are created in the field. You can capture and store different data sets, color coordinate for viewability, and organize your profile to fit your needs. Each report is uploaded with timestamps, geolocation, details, creator, and status. Let's record an activity so you can see Civa in real time.
Welcome to the Civa application. What would you like to do?
Find nearby manholes.
2 results found. The closest asset is 93 feet away with an approximate bearing of southwest.
Are there any work orders?
There is one work order. It is for repair, and the status is one requested.
Send me directions.
Please check your mobile device for directions to the asset.
Start manhole inspection.
What is your exact location in reference to the manhole?
7 feet southeast.
Is a work permit required?
Yes.
What is the manhole accessibility?
Vegetation interference.
What is the condition of the manhole cover?
Good condition.
Would you like to save the manhole inspection?
Yes.
The manhole inspection has been saved.
Wow, that was so awesome to see. And then just some of the outcomes that you're seeing, can you maybe talk about those a little bit?
The biggest outcome for Civa is just being able to store and retrieve all of the information that you want to capture on site. So, with data quality comes cost savings. I think that's a given, right? And then is a big component too, right?
Yeah, definitely. Another really great use case that we talked about was, you're driving, you're on the road, you see an issue and you can report it that way, right? Which is, I think, really fantastic. So definitely adds to the whole safety aspect. All right. Well, Carmen, it's been great speaking with you and spending time with you today. Thank you again.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks.
All right. Take care.
Pretty impressive. Earlier, Becky encouraged us to embrace a culture of change, and that starts with a growth mindset. My hope is you'll consider these solutions for yourselves and that they spark your own creative ideas for improvement. You can do more than what you thought because AI and machine learning are not out of reach. All of what was shown is proven, and you will not be pioneering new ground when you implement it. So Becky, what did you think?
I thought it was so cool. I love seeing what our clients and partners are doing to take our software to that next level. And these two examples just scratch the surface of what's possible with the technologies you Cityworks users have available to you today through the Cityworks Partner Network and the Trimble family of companies. There is no ceiling to what's possible. And over the next 2 days, you'll see solutions from Cityworks as well as Trimble focused around how to inform and support your organization's effort to become the hub of intelligent urban ecosystems. There are solutions now around gas leak detection, electric vegetation management, and IoT for water and wastewater, connected with new Cityworks apps for project management and financial tracking across your organization. These tools provide the support for regulatory tracking, federal reporting, and even stimulus spending. And you'll also see some of the latest solutions from the Cityworks Partner Network, from implementation partners who can elevate your implementation and business process to development partners who help extend the functionality of your platform solutions. We hope you will look at your current technology landscape as a whole, not just Cityworks, but all the tools you currently have available to you, and then identify ways to transform and initiate ongoing change in your organization. Be inquisitive of your organizations to consider these solutions and come to us with that curiosity. And so now I'd like to welcome back Brian and Cindy to share some examples of clients who have done just that.
Thanks, Becky. The stories we shared today represent just a few of the many Cityworks users who are working hard to make their communities more resilient. Many of you are already implementing the key ingredients to innovation, people, technology, and business processes.
We created the Cityworks User Awards to recognize the good work you are doing in your communities. This year, the Cityworks User Awards represent a diverse group of municipalities.
And many of the awardees have presented their success at user summits.
Because there are many different types of Cityworks implementations, we celebrate 3 categories of excellence. Excellence in online practice recognizes clients who use Cityworks online to improve data accessibility, transparency, and accountability in their communities. This year, I'm pleased to recognize City of Grand Rapids, Minnesota, and the City of Racine, Wisconsin. Excellence in departmental practice highlights Cityworks clients who have helped transform their departments. These clients demonstrate leadership and creativity in applying public asset management to strategies, to daily operations and long-term planning. The awardees are City of Alcola, Public Works and Engineering Department, Tennessee, Central Arkansas Water, Clayton County Water Authority, Georgia, Detroit Water and Sewer Department, Michigan, and Truckee Meadows Water Authority, Nevada. Excellence in enterprise practice recognizes clients who use Cityworks throughout their organization in a high-quality manner. These clients offer great examples of how Cityworks enterprise solutions can help improve work planning, budgeting, and communication across an entire organization. I'm pleased to recognize City of Cleveland, Ohio, and Halifax Water Commission, Canada, City of Stockton, California, City of Tallahassee, Florida, and City of Waterford, Texas.
Check your news feed to learn more about the good work of these organizations. Now let's head over to the live breakout sessions with Cityworks experts and partners. Have some fun interacting with other attendees in the activity feed and the chat box. And don't forget to join an attendee meetup at 1 p.m. U.S. Mountain Time.
Before you head into the breakout sessions, let me leave you with this with this. Cityworks is here to help you navigate the challenges your organizations face in planning, managing, and maintaining the critical infrastructure and that your work and your communities depend on. We are here to help you leverage your investment in ArcGIS to create scalable and dynamic systems of action that empower GIS and location intelligence at every level. We are building and integrating with platforms that will support you in being future ready. And there isn't a more important time to embrace innovation and digital transformation than right now. This is why Cityworks exists, and we look forward to being your trusted partner to help you build more resilient and purposeful communities and enable your teams to succeed. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the Cityworks Innovate conference.
Good data leads to better decision making. It helps communities identify opportunities, prepare for emergencies, and improve quality of life. Data often sits in siloed databases or clumsy spreadsheets. Creating reports and turning them into actionable insights can sometimes feel impossible. That's why we created Cityworks. Cityworks is the original GIS-centric asset management solution designed to fully leverage your organization's investment in Esri's ArcGIS database. It's more than just inspections, work orders, and managing permits. Cityworks integrates your data, teams, community, and systems together to help improve community management from top to bottom. Our open platform uses GIS intelligence to help you manage, visualize, and understand your complex data. Cityworks uses ArcGIS as the system of record, allowing you to easily track and visualize every asset. You can monitor maintenance schedules, equipment use, labor costs, permitting workflows, asset conditions, and risk assessment in real time on a single centralized platform. Bringing this data to your fingertips allows you to streamline fieldwork, warehouse inventory, customer feedback, and stakeholder insights both on-site and remotely. With Cityworks and ArcGIS, your community is empowered with scalable solutions that provide better data, better insights, and better decisions. Through improved operations, Cityworks helps you achieve efficient and sustainable growth to keep your community safe, resilient, and thriving.